Renowned South African artist, academic and curator Gordon Froud's work titled Harmonia, Sacred Geometry, The Pattern of Existence is currently showing at the Standard Bank Art Gallery in Johannesburg and will be on display until the 15th of June. Now, the exhibition investigates aspects of sacred geometry in the world around by putting special emphasis on themes such as the city, body, spirit and nature. Well, Gordon is here in studio to tell us all about this project. It's so great to see you. Welcome to Money.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Now, let's talk about Harmonia, Sacred Geometry, the Pattern of Existence. What was so appealing to you about patterns and shapes and numbers that you had to sort of use this as a form of art and expression?
It's been a long journey of actually coming back to geometry after many years of not working with mathematics as such. Yeah. But I became quite fascinated with the idea of geometry and the way that repetition happens in things like a grain of sand right through to the universe, and the way the planets are expanding, the universe is expanding. So it became a nice and interesting study to do, and I read up over the last 2 or so years nearly 300 books on the subject of geometry, and I synthesized the show down into a small exhibition of 151 works at Standard Bank.
And how would you say geometry relates to life?
It's one of those intrinsic things. I see the way that you're sitting, the way that when you stand with your hands on your hips, you're making geometric shapes all the time. For example, we can't exist in the city without geometry. The street plans, the way buildings are put together, they're like building blocks that make the city. And everywhere around us, this geometry is just inherent.
It's so fascinating that you see geometry in almost everything. Well, the exhibition consists of more than 150 pieces. I mean, talk to us about the stories that we can visually experience.
Well, I've designed the exhibition in such a way that it reads as 4 chapters like a book. So the first chapter is Geometry in Nature, where I made lenses and I went out into nature and captured reflections in hexagons or pentagons or squares and circles and what have you. The second chapter is about geometry in the city and in construction. So that's an exhibition mostly of drawings and rafters of roofs, for example. Then it moves over into the body, as I said just now, tracing the geometry through the body, and then finally to the spirit. And in that final section, I look at how different belief systems embrace geometry as part of their belief system.
Sure. Fascinating. I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm sitting here thinking, Jews, why didn't I ever think of something like that? Let's talk about the Standard Bank Art Gallery being the right space to sort of accommodate your exhibition, the relationship that you formed with them, and how important do you think that space has been just in the promotion of our artists?
It's an incredible space, and it's a lifetime honor. You only get one shot to get into a gallery like Standard Bank. So this is my kind of honor after being in the industry for 35 years. So I'm very grateful to them for that. The gallery itself, I designed the exhibition around the gallery because it's a circle with a square around it with a rectangle around that. So the geometry is inherent already there. And I designed everything so that the entire exhibition is symmetrical. So what's on the left is mirrored on the right, and what's on the corners are mirrored with each other. So no matter where you are in the exhibition, you feel like you are part of that sacred geometry that makes it there.
That is fascinating. You've got more than 3 decades of experience.
Sure.
Has it changed how you describe, how you articulate, and how you enjoy art? Has time done that for you?
Very much. I guess this is probably seen as my first really serious type exhibition. I'm known for my sense of humor. I make works out of plastic coat hangers and found objects and what have you. And this, I think, is the synthesis. It's a kind of focus on one thing. One of the other things that happened with the show is that I cut out all color. My work is generally quite bright and colorful. I cut out all color, and it's down to black and white and colorless works only in the entire exhibition.
Oh, fascinating. Lastly, I believe there's something quite special happening on the 3rd of May at the gallery. Fill us in and give us all the details we need to have.
I'm so super excited. It's First Thursday, so everybody's out going on the streets and what have you to enjoy the art of the evening. But we have a special guest, Andra, the fantastic singer, who's going to be performing at First Thursdays in Standard Bank Gallery for my exhibition. I'm very, very chuffed to have her there. She's an exquisite singer and really quite fantastic. And I hope people are going to turn up in their hundreds to come and see her perform.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Oh, Gordon, thank you so much for making the time to chat to me this morning. You're phenomenal. Love your work.
It's been fabulous. Thank you.
Oh, that's Gordon Froud, a well-known artist, academic and curator. Of course, his latest exhibition is titled Harmonia, Sacred Geometry, the Pattern of Existence. It's currently on display at the Standard Bank Art Gallery in Johannesburg. As you can see, all those geometric shapes from his perspective, and you can really enjoy a number of themes that he outlined for us during our chat. That